I know how lucky I feel to be a dad with my two kids, Olivia and Lucas. How you like being a dad these days? That's what Ryan wants to know.
Absolutely love it, and it's been by far the best thing that's ever happened to me. I think it's made me a better person. I honestly think it's made me a better race car driver. It's been amazing, and that I was telling you, I've been outside with the guys. My son is just like me. He wants to be outside doing something. We got a little golf cart. We'll ride the golf cart around. We got a few tractors in the backyard with the guys that are using to work, and we'll get up in the tractors, and it has been absolutely amazing. I've learned so much from my son by what he went through when he was born, about fighting for his life, and what he went through the first 9.5 weeks of his life just gave me so much enthusiasm and gave me so much determination to be a better race car driver, to be a better person, and it's been neat. And of course, we just found out last week that I was going to have a little girl, and she's due here in November, so we're very excited about that too. So, everything seems to be happy and healthy right now, but have loved being a dad.
That's great. Good to hear. Hey, Sherry wants to know, we realize it's called Kevin Harvick Incorporated, but we all know Delaina's really running the show over there. So what's it like having Delaina as your boss?
It's good. It's fun. It's honestly, when Kevin calls or texts me or whatever, I don't get worried. It's when Delaina calls or texts me and I'm like, oh boy, okay, maybe I might be in trouble here. Maybe I didn't do something I shouldn't have done, but she has she runs the whole race team, and we all know that, and she is definitely the boss, but she has a tough job because the time you have to run the business like she runs it and referee mother function, which is Josh and Kevin all the time, and put up with their shenanigans. She has a pretty tough job on her hands, but she does a great job. And again, I think the reason why KHI has been so successful over the years is their actions every day in that race shop. They're there every single day. They don't do any vacations or anything like that. They're at that race shop working all the time and are very hands-on. And from the business side and the sponsor side and all the activation stuff and all the things we can offer our sponsors, Delaina puts a lot of that packages together. And it's just it's been very successful so far because of that.
We talk about Daytona and the fact that you're going to have a teammate to draft with this weekend down there. Tim is wondering, have you picked somebody out yet who you want to run with down there, who you think is going to be a good pusher, or maybe somebody you can shove around the track?
That's this is why I like driving for Kevin and Delaina, because we'd only had plans of having 3 cars like we did at Daytona in the spring, like we did at Talladega, a couple months ago. But we only had 3 cars, and with this 2-car tandem, you really need a teammate. And so now they've gone to the extra expense and put this extra money, build an extra car. That we've got 4 teammates that are going to be in there this weekend driving for Kevin Harvick Incorporated. And you got Clint Boyer and Tony Stewart, Kevin Harvick, and myself. And Kevin and I are probably going to find each other and work with each other. We work together very well at Talladega in practice and things like that, and learned a lot about helping each other in the draft. I would say we're both driving One Main Financial cars this weekend, so I think that looked pretty cool with the same sponsor with reverse paint schemes to run together throughout the whole race. So, Kevin's got a lot of experience, been to victory lane at Daytona a few different times, especially in the Daytona 500. So I would say that he's pretty much going to be my teammate this weekend as far as finding each other in a 2-car draft.
It is 4th of July weekend coming up here, and one of our questions here from one of the fans is, what are you going to be doing down there for any fun? Do you have any plans to hit the beach or the boardwalk or anything while you're down there?
No, we're actually coming in late and going home early. And then I play a lot of softball, men's softball, and our tournament's this week. And the championship game is Wednesday night, so I'll try to play in that Wednesday night and then leave first thing Thursday morning going to Daytona. But I'll come back home and spend July 4th with my family here back in Virginia. So we'll be watching the Coke Zero 400 on TV, but we'll be doing it from home here back on Lake Gaston. So get to spend some time with my mom and dad, and I know they want to spend some time with my son Wyatt, and it's neat that we all can do some stuff together here back at home in July 4th. It'll be my first time in a long time to be home on a Saturday night of July 4th, so I'm going to spend it at home with my folks.
I want to know some more about this softball. What's your batting average these days?
It's got to be up in the 800s right now. I've had a really good season so far. I play with a really good team. We play 70 or 80 softball games a year. Playing a lot of different tournaments, a lot of different leagues, and we won the championship again. I think this was the 5th straight year last week, and we're trying to defend our tournament title this week, and then we'll move on to a different league next week. So. Play just a bunch of guys I've been friends with for a long time through high school and stuff like that, and man, we just have a good time playing ball together.
When you were a hoop guy, when did you switch to baseball?
Well, I was honestly, I got about 15 scholarship offers to play high school baseball out of high school, but didn't play because we had spent so much time and money and effort on racing. It's kind of hard to play college baseball and race at the same time. So that's why we decided to go play some basketball. But I'm probably actually better in baseball. But, it's something to do to, stay in shape and have fun and keep that competitive edge going. And like I said before, anything outdoorsy to me is fun. So we had a game last night, and we got to play again tonight, and then the championship on Wednesday night. So hopefully we'll put it all together, and I think this will be 3 or 4 years in a row as far as tournament champions, if we can make that happen. We got a couple more games to win, though.
All right, well, don't forget you got a little race on Friday, too. Now, one of the other questions we got here from the fans is, what do you think of the NASCAR's new Have At It Boys approach to ruling the garage area? You okay with it?
I think it's great. I think it's old school racing. We talk about old school racing all the time and the grassroots racing and where we came from. And you understand now as a driver that it's so competitive nowadays, Ralph, that you really got to fight for all your real estate on the racetrack, and you got to protect what's yours. And with this have at it attitude, we're seeing more tempers flaring a little bit. We're seeing a little bit more enthusiasm, a little bit more emotion from all the drivers. But I think as a fan at home, that's what you want to see. You want to see some more emotions and stuff from your drivers. We saw a lot of upset people after the race on Saturday and Sunday this weekend, but that's that boys have that attitude. I think if you just keep it on the racetrack and not mess around on pit road, I think that's a good way to be, and just keep letting everybody race as hard as they want to race. But I think it just carries us back, to that 1979 Daytona 500 that kind of put racing on the map, where let's race hard and settle it the best way we can.
Yeah, I like it too. Hey, Sue wants to know, what's your favorite racetrack?
I like Bristol. I went there as a kid. My dad used to take me as a kid as a fan. Then able to come back there years later, and I was able to win a nationwide race there in 1998, and be able to come back in 2001 and get a win for the Wood Brothers in my first ever Cup win. It's just a neat place, and I really like the old track with all the bumps and throwing the car around and slamming into the racetrack, and it was just a neat surface to race on and just a great place. And but it's so cool to go somewhere as a fan first, and then be able to come back there years later and actually go to Victory Lane has made that place really special to me.
We got another question here from another fan wondering about which track you're looking forward to going to next. I assume, Bristol will certainly be one of those, but that's not until August. What else coming up on the schedule are you looking forward to?
Well, I think everybody's excited about this Kentucky race weekend that's coming up, because it's the first time the Cup guys are there. I know we've always had truck races there nationwide in the past, but I think not all as one group. So I think everybody's really looking forward to going to Kentucky after Daytona. I've never raced at that racetrack. It's a new track for me to go to, so I'll be looking forward to racing there for the first time. I get to run the 2 truck for KHI with Hunt Brothers on board, and then we'll also be in the $1 million financial car on Friday night in the Nationwide Series. So that's to me, it's going to be a cool weekend. I think everybody's going to be very excited in that part of the country.
Brian wants to know if you have a lot of fun communicating with your fans on Twitter.
I love Twitter, and that's me, and that's me doing all the tweeting. That's nobody else, and I love a lot of the people that I follow and that are funny to listen to, and I love being a part of it. I think that's the neatest thing that's come out. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, man, I wonder if I was a teenager or when I was young and really looked up to, like Michael Jordan and people like that, if they had Twitter back then and you could really feel a part of their lives and what they do on a daily basis. I think it's neat. I think it's one of the coolest things. And, we do a lot of giveaways and we do a lot of sponsor stuff on Twitter. But a lot of times it's just normal, everyday things, what we're doing, what we're thinking, what we're eating, what's going on. And, I've got really good friends on Twitter, too, and we just a lot of times have our conversation on Twitter instead of texting, and it's neat, and I think it's good for us to have that interaction with our fans. We can answer a lot of questions, and it's Twitter now has just become so much to the point. It's like after a race happens on Saturday or Sunday, you can go right to Twitter and you can see the raw emotion of each one of your favorite drivers because you don't have to wait till Monday morning to read the paper anymore or wait till Sunday night to see the local news to see what happened. Man, you can get on Twitter and they got a lot of good guys give a lot of good updates and you can keep up with what's going on. And I just think Twitter's a lot of fun and man, I love being a part of it.
All right, so where do we find you on Twitter?
It's Elliott_Sadler. That's me. That's all me, Ralph.
All right. Hey, now, before I let you go, I got one final question for you. With this being the 4th of July, what's the goofiest thing you ever did to Hermie with a firecracker?
There's a lot of things I would have loved to have done to my brother with a firecracker growing up. But, after my brother put me in the dryer when I was a kid, if I could have got a hold of some firecrackers, I'd have got him back. But he put me. Did you? I don't know if you knew that or not, but he kind of stuck me in the dryer as a kid and turned the dryer on. So that's kind of the way my brother thinks of me and how he treated me growing up. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Never really have gotten him back for that as far as firecrackers are concerned, but I appreciate you letting me think about it. Maybe I can get him back this weekend because we would all be spending time together Sunday and Monday night and stuff like that.
Well, there you go. Go see Tony Raines in the garage area. He's got, Black Cat sponsoring him, so I'm sure he can help you out with all the fireworks you need. And, hey, thanks for joining us, Elliott. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thanks for joining us here on our NASCAR Nationwide live chat. Fans, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Tuesday here at 11 a.m.